This week, we've got sharks, Jewfish schools bigger than your mum's cooking room. We'll clean up some goat heads for mounting and check out next week's gold adventure.
That's a nice piece of gold.
There's this and plenty more, so make sure you chuck a comment below, send it to your mates. Let's get into it.
Oh, he ate it.
Good fish. No way, that is sick.
That's a chunk of gold.
Finally, after months and months on end of hectic rain, the weather had eased. I could finally clean up the property and get one last burn in before summer. I was hoping that tomorrow the water would be clear enough to dive. There are some big rivers around this area that have been super stirred up of late, making the ocean resemble a chocolate milkshake. The next morning, I got up early and checked the visibility of the water with my drone. I spotted a few whales. They had swapped direction and were now heading south on the way home for the year. And by the looks of the water, we were on. It wasn't perfect, but it was definitely good enough to jump into one of our honey holes and whack a jewfish for dinner. The first dive did not go to plan. We got halfway out and I noticed a big split up the front of my tinny and water was just pissing in. We then decided to just jump off the shore, but that didn't go too well either, with a big shark just pestering us and stealing my mate Simon's Jew. The next day, the swell had calmed off a little more and the viz had improved dramatically. The last time I dove this spot, the whales were going nuts underwater and I came across the biggest school of jewies. We already had one each, so we just had to film, but check out these two schools on these dives. I was out of fish, and after seeing these schools last time, I was pretty sure I was going to whack a good Jew. I was being more than selective. There was some stonking fish in that school last time, so I really wanted to make sure I waited, and when a school did appear, I waited till the end, because I've kind of noticed that the big boys sit at the back. I noticed a heap of small bait pushing onto me, so I quickly dove and hugged the rocks, hoping they were scaring off from a big school of Jew. You're only allowed one Jew these days, so I got back in and went around searching for the school to show my mate. And then these boys rolled in.
How's it going? Yeah, good. Sorry? Yeah, go.
You got anything?
Sorry?
Have you got anything?
Yeah, I shot one, Jewy.
By the time we swam back to the boat and got out our licenses and whatnot to show fisheries, the tide had changed, so we called it a day.
How you doing, boy? Come on, boy. Come on. So we're gonna head down. I shot some goats a while ago.
Not just some goats, it was my PB Billy with a bow. Anyway, I'll chuck a link up the top here if you want to go check that out and the other trips from around that time.
And I left the sculls down on the sand dunes at the beach in our house. And I ripped down on the moto and yeah, bring them back, and then I might try and bleach them out so all the crap should be off them. Come on, boys. You coming? Come on. Dog won't come. Come on, boy. Let's rip up and get him. Right, I left him in here somewhere. Oh, he ate it. Oh, I tied him with a fishing line, didn't bring a knife. Alright. Got one there. One over here. Oh, it's still got ants all through them. There's one. Ooh, still pretty good on the nose. Oh, goats just smell so bad. Well, that skull's all a bit mangled. Maybe I left him out here too long. Maybe we should turn that off so I don't get a flat battery. Super hard finding information on the internet these days because everyone has a different idea, and you kind of got to try stuff and stuff it up or whatever to figure out if you're doing it the right way or not, which is really annoying because sometimes, especially with stuff like this, it's like an animal that I probably won't get a chance to, well, I hope I get to shoot a bigger one than this, but just with time and access, you never know when you're going to have a spot you can go to or not. I'm going to have to use 2 hands. Alright, that's that one. I'd say that leader's pretty cooked now. I might just leave it here to tie up the next thing. But yeah, this is a good goat. But yeah, it's hard because I work shift work. I'm away so much, like if I don't get it one break then it's a month gone or another break, so they've probably sat out here for way too long, and they look pretty cooked. Oh well, what I'm going to do is go home and peroxide them, and hopefully that'll just kill the rest of the germs, and I'd say with the way they're smelling now, they're just going to be an outside jobby. These are reeking. Yuck. How can they still be stinking? They are still rank. Boy, you're not to eat these. Alright, so here's the skull. It's very stinky still. So I've just lightly tapped these so the outside of the horns have come off. So do the same with this one. Just get a stick. So just give them a light tap. They should nearly. There we go. One's off. Oh, there we go. So then you can just get in and really give that a good wash. Clean out the inside of these horns. Any mucus that was still caught up in there. So I've got them in there. Just going to put some bathroom bleach in there to get rid of the smell. So I've lifted them up on top of the gas bottles so the dogs don't get them. Just putting a bit of toilet cleaner in with them to get rid of the final stink. And then I bought some hydrogen peroxide. Don't wear my hat backwards, I just had the GoPro on before. I bought some hydrogen peroxide from the hair salon because I'd read online dudes use that. So yeah, I'm going to soak them for maybe a day, and then tomorrow I'm going to put the hydrogen peroxide on them, wrap them in a plastic bag, and then leave them for a couple of days and see if I can whiten them. I've just filled these up with bicarb soda and a bit of water into like a paste. I've got them sitting on this big old crab trap, hoping that the dogs don't get to these. But if they knock the cage, it should nearly... they should fall inside, but we'll see. They seem to get a hold of everything. So with these, I've just got a jigsaw and cut the tops off. Just makes it easier to slide the horns back on. You can glue them, but I just slide them back on. That way, I don't know, at first, if it's just going inside, I'll just slide them on and not glue them in case they do get a bit smelly or you want to change something, but yeah, they kind of stay on pretty solid anyway. And then yeah, to whiten the skulls, I just use this salon stuff from the hair shop and this blue powder and just mixed it up into a little paste, chucked it on, and then just, yeah, because the horns aren't on, you can just go pretty nuts. And yeah, ends up with a really cool white skull. So I've got one outside here because I'm banned from better putting too much stuff in the house, too many skulls. And yeah, the other one made it up here. It's a bit bigger, so there's the other one. So yeah, pretty stoked how they turned out. How did you get in here, buddy? This is my house. Alright, let's get you out. Is that you, better? We've got a pet.
What pet?
This pet.
What is he? Where was he? Oh, me. Go on, buddy. Not inside.
There you go, mate.
It seemed springtime was bringing out all the animals. They were even trying to get in the troopy.
Come on, mate. Come on. Come on. Come on. How sick is he? It's super cool.
Next week, on my way to a 2-week hunting adventure, I decided to stop the night before and hike into an old faithful gold creek. I camped up the top and searched for gold at night using a waterproof torch. Click subscribe, send it to your mates, and also hit the link to my shop below in the comments. Show me some support, Purchase a tee, stubby holder, or hoodie. There's so many designs to choose from, and you'll help me maintain my gear and make these vids. See you next week.
That's a nice piece of gold.